The boomers in the cafe shook their heads. It was everything they'd planned for during the Cold War. This reminds me of high school in the 60s, when the most we learned was how to hide under our desk if the bomb hit. Anyone in their 50s now has scars from that time. This is warfare in the 21st century. The two teens who had been playing pinball left the cafe. The rest of us stayed, glued to all-day newscast gloom, redundancies on repeat, flogging that poor dead beast. Threats of retaliation. Bush should nuke every terror state in the world. W himself. We will treat terrorists and those who harbor them the same. Reaction, retaliation, revenge. It's hard sometimes to tell the difference between the avengers and the afflicted. Soon the pundits had arrived in studio. Terrorism has gone global. Ah, globalization. So this is what they meant. A streeter from Halifax reported from the waterfront. I just wish there wasn't so much hate. If I'd been home next to that man, I'd have hugged him. He looked like a veteran. They know hate too well. This efficient mass murder and the coming retaliation, that would be so much worse. Because hate perpetuates, exacerbates, escalates, elevates. Hate brought this, the lust for dominance. Haters with pilot skills and X-Acto knives foiled the intelligent networks of the world's most shining example of freedom and democracy. Young, naive, foolish love junkies like me, we were required to learn hate. For this was to be a war on terrorism, a war on war, you see. The most important U.S. war since the war on drugs, or the war on Vietnam, or the one before that. Hate was your answer. Learn to hate the Pakistanis because dancing in the street, they sure hated us. We were now warring against terror, taking collateral damage if necessary. It always was. Meaning civilians who had nothing to do with much, except trying to stay alive on infertile ground during longer each-year droughts. Hate we shall return, a mass murder for a mass murder, and the economy would soar. Now was the time to invest in everything explosive. We would win this war and be free if we could only learn to hate more than they did. Take out the whole goddamn country, whichever one could be blamed.